I heard you say it so many times I should know it.
What about this? What is oop up, she boop, that's what is that bebop language? You know that language. That's your language. Bebop.
Well, you know our language. I often wondered about your language, the forerunner of our language, because our language, bebop, only the language of bebop only set up the accents on the riffs that we were playing. Mm-hmm. You see, like we would say, shut up, ba-da-ba-da-doo, bing-ba-dee-bop. You know?
Shut up, ba-doo-dee-bop.
Yeah, we say something like that. That's da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Right,
but we say, but when you accent, you shoot up, ba-doo-ba-doo-bap, bam, ba-dee-bop.
Okay.
You know, so every accent shows your accent. Yeah, an accent, yeah.
I see, yeah, right.
So that's what, you know, it's a funny thing. They talk about music being an international language. I was in Japan. I went to Japan to play with all Japanese band.
All right.
And they couldn't speak English, but they had the music.
Yeah,
see?
right.
So but there was no problem with confrontation and communication.
Yeah.
Because we look at the phrase.
Yeah.
And I'd hum the phrase out in bebop, see? and I tell them to hum it back to me.
Yeah, and they did it.
And they hum it back to me, and then they played the same thing.
From the music. But they were still doing bebop speaking.
Yeah, speaking, yeah.
They were but they couldn't speak English.
They couldn't speak no English at all. But I had a good time, man.
Yeah, listen. Did you get any sushi? You like sushi? No.
I ate everything that wasn't nailed down.
I love it.
But that raw fish, though, man.
You like it?
I don't
Didn't
know,
make
man.
that.
I'd be scared. No, I mean, you know about worms and things like that.
But you know, some of the restaurants over there, you go in, they got the soup with a little fish swimming around. They give it to you hot. You even didn't bother with it.
No, I don't think I don't eat that's gonna move before it gets to my stomach. I will move it to my stomach myself.
But I got a dish I'm fixing for you tonight. Oh man, you got some.
Hey, what you making this time? What are you making?
Oh, I got some dish for you that's gonna really blow you. Take you so far out there, you're gonna worry about getting back, man. This is gonna be a dish.
Well, you're a master with this anyway. Anything you cook is great.
Yeah, but I tell you what it's going to be. It's got fish, seafood, many seafoods in it. And listen, see.
I'm a fish man.
I know. You like fish and watermelon and all the right things and the minerals. That's good for you. But guess what? The Vautis and the macaroni most is Civilisation. And if you understand what I say, if you don't tell me it didn't bebop, then we can get them. We can answer it. I say Vauti Maxculi Orusimo Oritima Couchimi Tina, you know. You understand?
Hey, this old man.
Yeah.
Let me lay a question on you.
Shoot.
How long was Cain mad with his brother?
As long as he was able.
You dig me, Jack. You dig me.
You better dig this next number.
Ow! Take it.
Box there. Come on. Oh, box there. Come on. Oh, box there. Come on. Oh, box there. Come on.
Oh, yeah. Oop, up, da.
Blah-ba-doo-la, blah-ba-doo-da. Oop-ba-ba-da.
Yeah,
Blah-ba-doo-la, blah-ba-doo-da.
then you go. I didn't get to that part. Didn't get
You have to have a long breath.
I know. Lots of music players play that now. Always.
Oh, yeah.
They got to be real hip
But
to
man,
play.
when we do it now, we in a tempo like this. 1, 2, 3.
Fast tempo.
Yeah. We do it way up there. One night, one time John Hendricks. John Hendricks.
Yeah, he was fast.
Yeah, he came up on the stage, and we did. Mama, they go on the stage. They want to do Papa Da, so we were doing it so fast.
He couldn't get it.
He said, "Wait a minute."
Yeah, right.
We're doing it fast because to get the syllables in.
Yeah.
It's very difficult.
You got to really know.
Yeah.
You got to really know in order
You
to
got to know where all the syllables.
get the right department.
But what you getting with this grease, man?
Yeah, but see what happened is, like when all I did was, when I got to my Vouty and Rooney thing, I wrote the Cement Mixer song, and I didn't have any lyrics to the thing, so. One afternoon, I was doing a recording session. 3 songs, and I did them 1, 2, 3. I was just about to say goodbye when the producer said to me, "What about the other song?" It turned out I was contracted to do 4, but I'd forgotten. So I said, "Hold on. I think I'll just go out and get a little fresh air before we do the last one." I had no idea what we were going to do.
Cement mixer, putty. Cement mixer, putty. Cement mixer, putty. A puddly rooty, puddly scooty. Cement mixer, putty. Cement mixer, putty. Cement mixer, putty. I puddly rooty, blah blah. I think that I shall never see a poem as funny as a lovely as a tree, and like woody. Twinkle, little star, wonder where you are, my woody. Cement mixer, putty. Cement mixer, putty. Cement mixer, putty. Now, some people didn't understand my Valtorini language, and they tried to make it mean something it didn't mean.
We on KMPC give a warning against this awful new hot jive music. Cement mixer putty, what can it mean? It is nothing more than a coded message, thick with reefer smoke and bedroom innuendo, shamelessly aimed at corrupting the morals of young and old alike. KMPC urges other radio stations to follow our example and ban it from the air.
Yeah, lots of talk to try to keep me and my little cement mixer going. But that cement mixer stuck with me and became a very successful little item. The people were so jealous of my item doing so well. My little putty, you did so good. You really did some good work. And a few people tried to keep it off the air. And that people over there, KMPC, they banned it off the air. And every radio station in the world played it more and more and more. I love you, my little putty.
Putty. Cement mixer, putty. Cement mixer, putty.
A puddly, 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 puddly. Cement makes a putty, putty. Cement makes a putty, putty. Cement makes a putty, putty. A Muscle Jones, Twinkle Jones, Smoothie, avocado.
I go cement mix a putty putty, but leave out if I do, and that's all I could do. At the end of the thing, and it took off the language.
You know one thing? Another thing. You did the same thing. How Louis Armstrong scattered
Yeah,
the
right.
first time when he forgot the lyrics.
That's it. That's what I did. Improvised.
Yeah, where you got master. You see, y'all the master of this stuff.
No lyrics. I didn't
No
know. So
lyrics.
I said, Vought Rooney, man. Everybody say Vought Rooney. So I wrote a dictionary then called the Vought Rooney language. And I just happen to have it here.
Vought
Rooney. And now, see, I used to have a class once in a while teaching the Vought Rooney language, and it was fun. Yeah, that's it, you know. It was great. This is 19 Chabadabao.
Oh, it was? That was before Muslim.
Hey, hey, like that.
Hey, man, you got
the whole language there.
look at all this language.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I put the damn day, man.
We never had no dictionary. Wow.
You got all the language in there, everything, the whole counting and everything else.
Plays of Shakespeare. Slim Gaillard's Vought Rooney Dictionary. Now let me see. Moliti, pencil. Muniusil, silver. Modiki, cow. Mufro, roast beef. Mop, towel. Muffled jaws, angry. Mug mop, handkerchief. Mogovauti, face. Mezi, no. Noise does.
We have a special request for a little number that we're playing every show down to the Orpheum Theater downtown through the courtesy of Billy Berg, located 1356 North Vibe, Hollywood, 28 McBooty Ruthie, California, Ovaute.
Billy Berg's was the #1 night spot in Hollywood. I had the resident band. We played there every night. Tiny Bam Brown on bass and Scatman Crothers on drums. And I brought in Dizzy and Charlie Parker, and Louis Armstrong.
Cooked up. We'd like to open up with a little specialty from that new picture, The Road to Hoboken, O'Rooney. A very groovy flickoriti. This is your truly Slim Gaillard Trio, coming to you from Billy Berg, located in Hollywood, O'Rooney, in Voughtville.
Everybody played there, and everybody who was anybody went there.
I was telling some young musician who didn't know your history. I told him I was coming to do this show.
Yeah.
I said, Slim Gaillard, he's the one who played the piano with the back of his hand.
They knew about it. They knew about it. You were explaining, but they knew all about it. I'm not as famous in legend as Dizzy Gillespie.
Oh, man, get out of here.
No, wait just a minute. Now, listen. You were played all over. You played for the presidents, the generals, the whole world.
Oh, they ain't done it, man. I ain't never,
you played.
but I never had a really hit record.
Oh, everything you had.
No, man, I just had records.
You know, but the big record I really liked was Manteca when you did that. And
yeah.
Tunisia, you did a great thing on that one, too.
That's
You know, yeah. And,
but not a great big blockbuster.
everybody play it. Everybody value it.
No,
That's a record. Maybe you didn't get the royalties, but they, you know, it's hard to get royalties.
Somebody got it.
Billy Berg's was the place to see and be seen. Every night, the columnists would be there from the important papers, like Variety, Hedda Harper, Luella Parson, Walter Winchell, and of course, Army Orchard. There's nothing he doesn't know about Hollywood. He's been writing about it for 40 years. He doesn't look his age, does he?
Orchard, oh, what a nice surprise. See somebody in Hollywood. It's been years since I've been around there. You remember Billy Berg's over here on Vine Street there?
Yeah.
Oh, and look, now there's cuisine, there's a supermarket, a pawn shop, everything, all different things but Billy Berg's.
Few changes around here.
I would say.
Up the corner used to be NBC.
Right.
Down the street used to be ABC.
ABC there.
Right.
And the canteen.
Right, the canteen.
The canteen.
You used to see a lot of people there, I bet.
Oh, yes. You remember some names that used to come in this evening?
Well, Bob Hope.
Yeah, Bob Hope was one.
Did he understand you?
Oh, yeah, he did pretty well. He was in one time with Marlene Dietrich, so he said to Marlene Dietrich, what do you think of Mr. Gaylord, Marlene? She says, Vout. That come from my... Do you ever see this?
No.
That's my Vout to Rudy Dictionary. That's what was born right there. See, from the cement mixer.
Putty.
Putty.
Ah, yes, indeed, indeed. Oh, those are exciting days in Hollywood.
Oh, wasn't it something, though? Really great.
Oh, Fayachi, oh, Gucci, oh, Gucci, 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 I come in the waterfront, send for you and send for you. Darling, I am growing old. Every place I want to go.
night when I arrived at the theater, I had a marvelous surprise waiting for me. The man who called me up that night was backstage waiting to say hello after 42 years. I would like to introduce him to you now. I must say this man turned my life around for the better. Slim Gaillard. Slim. He always did get me emotional. Slim, I can't tell you what a great treat it was in store for me tonight to find you backstage waiting to say hello after all these years.
Thank you very much, and ladies and gentlemen, it's a great pleasure to see my little champion buddy here, Frankie Lane. What do you think of him?
He always did know what to say. I didn't always understand him, and I'll let him say the same thing again in his jive language.
Ladies and gentlemen, my champion little friend here is very Vouty and Magroony Old Scoodly Orini Mo.
Now, you had an earlier translation.
Frankie Lane, it's a great pleasure to see you, and such a happy, happy feeling to think of my little friend that used to come over to Billy Berg's wishing somebody please discover me. Look, please discover me, somebody. That night when they says, Frankie, contract, recording, you say, I did it, I did it, I did it. And we celebrated 5 months.
We sure did. Thank you, Slim.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Frankie Lane.
See you again. Success with your documentary. Let him hear it. Let him hear it. He became a very important part of my life. And what he did that night by calling me up to sing changed my life.
And then one thing I'd like to say, that's my desire, brought you somebody very close to you.
Yeah, that became her song and my song.
And Nan come close to you.
Yeah.
And then your daughter come up, her name is Jan. So yeah. Nan and Jan.
And Pam.
And Pam.
Sounds like a Japanese trading company.
Sounds like a
Nan and Pam and
now, there's one you ought to write.
Pam and Pam and Jan, pow.
And that was the way it all happened.
But I'll tell you one thing I wanted to say, but Frankie Lane used to be very, very sharp. You were one of the best dressers in California. Wait, now, you wait just a minute, listen close. They clocked you as one of the best dressers. They used to call you a fashion plate, and I was a fashion plate before you. So we two fashion plates used to walk on the stage. Even if you had that one suit, it was so sharp that it would cut your fingers.
Yeah. Well, I must say, in all honesty, I had a pretty good press agent at that time. And they got me into one of the 10 best dressed men of the year 2 years in a row.
Oh, right now you're
But it was really a heck of a promo. And,
no, it was true.
So finally I said, that's it. And I dropped out. I let the guy go, and next year I wasn't on it. That ought to tell you.
No, it was proof. He used to really dress. He believed in dressing. You from Chicago, right?
Yeah.
And lots of people don't know he's from Chicago, and Chicago is a dressing city.
Oh, yeah.
That's where lots of styles come from, Chicago. You can really do some fancy dressing.
All I know is that he's my man.
Well, I thank you very much, and nice to talk to you.
Okay, Slim.
Good to see you, my champion.
Okay, Bubba.
Jezebel.
Yeah.
Hey, you better get dressed, man. That's right. You gotta go to get ready to go on. I'll be watching you.
Cement mixer, putty putty, cement mixer, putty putty, cement mixer, goes putty putty, a puddle of wheat, concrete. The next part isn't quite so sad. First you take some gravel and then you pour it in a vault to make a mess of mortar. You take cement and water. See the mellow Rooney.
Was he on TV?
Not me.
Who's that?
Then it gets sad again. Cement mixer. Putty putty.
That's not me.
Cement mixer.
Come if you might been doing somebody.
Not me. Not me.
Who's this?
Cement mixer. See, I got carried away and I forgot the words. Oh, putty putty.
You know what that is now? Liberace. He can sing, couldn't he?
That was me.
I said he can sing Liberace.
Yeah, there you go. You got it right. He had a special arrangement on that. The Liberace sang cement mix of putty putty. But I like the arrangement they did on that.
That was good, man.
Yeah, it was good. Good sound. And very different.
Look here, here's a do-do piano and Tiny on the bass. Look like we'll have a fine jam session here. And here comes Zuli in the door with his brushes. But you know, Papa, let's about fix it. Oh, here's it. Well, look at Charlie Yard boy to Rooney.
Yeah, so now how's it going, Joe?
Oh, everything is mellow, man. Look at this. Get his horn with the Nate.
Yeah,
Blow
I got my
some?
horn with me, man. I want to blow some, too.
Yeah.
I'm having a little reading trouble.
Haven't got to read?
Yeah.
Well, if Mac Boucher's got to read. He can trim it down a little. That's great.
Yeah,
Well, that's solid then. Well, let's get together and blow. We in A flat. Take the next. You got it. Hurry.
Oh, that was you said.
There we go.
Remember? That record made me very famous.
You make that record very famous. Right.
And listen, I was surprised that when you come out to California there, the first time you and Charlie Parker, you were swinging, everybody was looking, it was strange to them, but they finally got the message that they're playing some jazz that's really that everybody should be on to.
California hadn't heard our music.
That was new to them.
Yeah, it was new to them, man. We all of us from New York were new to California.
All right.
That was a long ways out there.
Yeah, I know. But
So what happened is that we got a job out there at Billy Burry's.
right.
And we had a contract that said 5 pieces.
Uh-huh.
But I knew that Charlie Parker was going to be late some night when we hit, and I didn't want that Billy Burry hang around on me to, put him, hey, man, you're supposed to have 5 musicians. You only got 4.
Uh-huh.
With Charlie Parker missing.
Right.
So I hired Milt Jackson
Oh, yeah, right.
as the 6th one.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah.
And then, it was funny. It was funny that when we got there, Billy Burry was so square that we already got 6 pieces, and he said, well, hey, he said, would you mind if I hired Lucky Thompson to play with you out here? I said, hell no, bring him on, bring him. And Lucky Thompson was hitting it, boy.
But tell me, he recorded me. Oh, listen.
Lucky Thompson.
But where is he now, you know?
No one knows.
Oh, champion player. So go ahead.
So now we got 7 pieces.
Instead
We
of
got
five.
7
Yeah,
pieces.
instead of 5.
So we were there was always at least 5 on the stage.
Bring me a big bowl of avocado seed soup there while we nail the seed to the roof, and that'll fix it. Say, look here, Papa, how about setting a riff on the next chord, and we'll take him on out there, because these guys here, you gotta go and make another gig there. I gotta get up early.
Now that is Birdland over there across the street there. It's the Kit Kat Club now, and we would be inside of the Kit Kat Club showing you how Birdland was, but the ladies in there are not dressed, and they wouldn't allow us to photograph until 4 in the morning. That's pretty late for us to be photographing. Tell you about Birdland was a most fantastic place you could think of for jazz. Music, super action, dancing. Oh, it was a place of places. Everybody thought that Birdland was named after Charlie Parker. They're absolutely wrong. There used to be birds all inside the place. So the health department said, take those birds out, and all the birds were flying all direction. There they're sailing all around. That's what they call it, Birdland. 52nd and Broadway, the jazz corner of the world.
Yeah.
That's my close friend for many years. You're looking good.
A satin doll, you calling me?
Hey, no. I wrote part of this song, only 1 bar.
Oh, really? Wow.
2 bars, I forget.
Nice.
I'll sing my bar that I wrote. Switcheroony.
Switcheroo. All right.
You remember the Rooney?
Yeah.
The
Ovaltine.
Ovaltine and the Rooney.
Ovaltine, good.
We had some fun at Birdland, didn't we?
We sure did.
And
Birdland.
the Palladium.
We used to come up to Palladium, do Ovaltine or Rooney with cha-cha-cha.
Cha-cha, that was a
Cha-cha-cha.
great place.
Good
I
man,
loved
yeah.
the Palladium.
Beautiful Cuban music.
All Cuban music.
All Cuban music.
Puerto Rican music.
Yeah.
And Cubans.
That's right.
You were Cuban.
No, I'm international. I'm Puerto Rican, but I play Cuban music.
Tito, you were funny. You're Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
But you say, anybody say, Tito, are you Cuban? Say, yes, I'm Cuban. Are you Puerto Rican? Yes.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to
That's
be
fine.
with.
I'll make everybody happy, you know?
And what my trumpet buddy was with you. He's a good our friend.
Jimmy from Florida.
Jimmy.
40 years we'll be there, sure.
Jimmy was 40 years with you.
yeah.
This before my dad.
Still
Jimmy
around.
played up there. Palladium, remember? We used to have all of the bands up there. You were very quiet at that time.
Of course, I learned from you.
Why?
Now, look where we are today. Now we're in the Havana Village.
Oh, yes,
I want
beautiful.
to-
Havana Village is good. I like
right.
this place over here.
Beautiful,
Very
beautiful place.
nice over
New
here.
York, right here.
Congenere bruca maniva. Aye. Congenere bruca maniva. Aye. Congenere bruca maniva. Aye.
You remember,
Congenere bruca maniva. Oye, Tico, Tito, Tito. Toca mi cha-cha-cha, cha-cha-cha, cha-cha-cha. Cosa mi pide Tito. Pointe. Nombre uno el mundo.
Ave Maria.
Do you remember at Birdland, what was the little fellow at the door that used to greet us, everybody at the door?
Oh.
The little fella,
Pee Wee Marquette.
Kiki Wackett. He used to greet everybody, didn't he?
Yeah, everybody, that's right.
Oh,
sure.
I know, remember one time he said, Ladies and gentlemen, here come Marilyn Monroe. She's walking down the door. He was very nice little guy. You know, I saw Pee Wee the other day, and he's in a different world now. He's a swinging little guy.
Is he taller or shorter?
Oh, he's getting shorter.
We're getting shorter?
He's decreasing his height.
Okay, that's good.
When we were there, one time you were with Tito had his band over there with Basie's band was there, and then you come on.
Yeah, right.
The two band.
Basie,
But I really enjoyed the time when little Pee Wee says, and now, ladies and gentlemen, we bring you at this time the #1 orchestra of the jazz world. Count Basie and his orchestra. And then he would say, and over to the Latin world, #1 for the Palladium of jazz. Here is Tito, and Tito with his band. Pow! And he would look around. Didn't really come in and say,
but you know, if I didn't take care of him,
that's right.
he used to call me Xavier Cougar.
And Pee Wee would sit there and look. And when you come in, if you give him a little tip,
That's right.
here is the
Here is-
#1 band
That's
of the whole world.
That's right.
No tip.
That's it.
There's a band coming on.
Yeah.
Speedy. Max, come on with me, Max. This is one of my favorite. This is my #1 jazz club my favorite. I just love it here. All these photos. Come on, Max, I want to ask you a few things about this. Look at all these nice photos you have here.
Well,
Everybody is.
I remember some of the things
You-
that concern these people that worked here before and in years past.
How long?
I don't know some of these names.
Some of these up here. How about Max up this way? I want to ask you a question.
Yeah.
This question I want to ask you. How many years you been here at the Village Vanguard?
Well, I opened this place in 1935. That's 53 years.
53 years.
Mathematically, count 'em.
Okay, well, this is the #1 to me.
Yeah.
I love it. Who plays the tuba, you?
No, I don't play the tuba, but I tell you, we use it as decoration. I bought it in an antique store. But one day, a musician, his name, I remember now, it was Major Holly. Major Holly got up on a bandstand and blew into it, and the blast that resulted was fantastic.
Good sound.
I didn't realize it had any sound in it.
It's a good-looking instrument.
Yes, it is.
Max, here it is. Some of my favorites that have played here. Hey, look at this many. Look, Coltrane.
Oh, yeah, John Coltrane worked here many times with his famous quartet, and he became, a great star.
Oh yeah, big
And
name.
we used to bring him back every 3 months or so, just to keep the people happy and of course they expected to hear him again and come back again and again to hear him. And he was such a marvelous, such a great instrumentalist.
Now, one more. Wait, Max, here's Miles. Miles Davis, he played.
Miles played here, of course. Miles played here with a sextet of musicians. He's a great trumpet player, Miles.
And Dizzy.
And Dizzy, of course, played here too. Yeah, and then right next to Dizzy is Bill Evans.
Oh yeah,
Bill
Evans
Evans on the piano.
Yeah.
Bill Evans reminded me one day that we used to sit back there in the kitchen and talk between sets, and he reminded me that he worked here for the first time in 1953 opposite the Modern Jazz Quartet.
Oh yeah, they're my friends too.
And
Mingus.
Mingus, of course, always worked here. Of course, Mingus. Now we have a band. This week we have a little band called Mingus Dynasty.
Yeah, so did that.
And some of the men in it, most of them, the 7 men in it, used to play with Mingus.
Oh, well, that's...
When Mingus was alive and bringing in all the great crowds into this room.
Max, come over here and sit down over and relax a minute. I want to talk to you while you... I want to go. Come this way.
You'll have to help me.
Yeah, I'll help you up.
Slim.
All you got to take is easy. Don't step fast. You step easy. We go right up. Here we go. Up you go, Max. See,
That's right.
You.
Yeah, I make
I
it.
got you there. There's no problem.
I make it with a little effort, a little help. I make it.
That'll help me make it. Okay, I'll sit over here and you sit on the other side of the stool, and I want to play a little music and ask you a few little questions. Put this. Sit down, have yourself relaxed, take your time, because we're in your club, and you.
Here I am.
Okay,
I'm
you're
sitting
here.
next to you. This is a great
That's
thrill
good.
for me.
That's great. Max, do you remember when I played here?
I sure do, Slim. You and your partner Slam, Slim and Slam. What a great name for an act. I hardly knew your last name. Now I've learned it only in recent years. Gaillards, Slim Gaillard, and Slam Stewart.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, that was a great team. And the people loved you. You were funny, you were wonderful, you were musical. And I personally remember you and still treasure the memory of your presence at the Vanguard 50 years ago.
It's a
Practically all 45 years ago.
Yeah, right. It's so pleasure to be here with you, though, Max. And you, the
Nice
one.
to see you again.
You know what I say about the Village Vanguard is about the only authentic jazz club that survived of all of the clubs. And you and Lorraine got together and said, we're going to do it, we're going to keep it going. We're going to do it, we're going to keep it going. You did it. Some of the biggest names in the world come out of this place.
Yes. They became big by being here. They were not so big when they opened, but
Right.
by the time they closed, they were already stars. And sometimes, when I try to rehire them, I can't afford them. That happens to be very often.
They all started here, though. Listen, Max, on 52nd Street, which I worked up and down 52nd Street, Slim and Slam, Slim Gaillards, we all worked up and down 52nd Street when it was really swinging down in that area.
I used to go up there nights to listen to some of the stars.
Yeah.
Then I used to hire them for here. You
Right.
know, that's where I got my start. I started some of the people.
Right, and then they
By
all
hearing them there for the first time.
and they all come down here. But for 52nd Street, all closed up and nothing there now but banks.
I don't know music in those. We don't like you, Bank. You didn't bring any music in here. Ah!
He is so fine, my
Hour banking. Look what about the book auto. Yeah.
People couldn't find their old places and their old spots, and they came to the village. And the village became the center of jazz.
Max, I want to find out one thing. If you know, why, before they build the banks and things on 52nd Street, why did they close down? Do you know?
Well, that's what it is, the pressure, you know, the pressure of the development of real estate.
Oh, the buildings.
Oh, yeah.
The real estate people pressured all of the jazz spots out of
right,
52nd
yeah,
Street.
Right. Jazz spots couldn't pay the rents.
I see.
And they were just sort of closed.
But you didn't care about that, did you?
Well,
that was not in your field.
I'm able to pay the rent. The rent keeps going up, but here I am.
Thank
God I can still pay it.
That's okay, because you know the business. Now, Max, I'm going to play a little song for you. Listen to this. They wrote many songs about the village vanguard. But I'm going to write my own song right here now. Just listen to the words and you will hear a story about the village vanguard. 52nd Street closed down, everybody's gone bye-bye. And the jazz buff didn't know where to go and what to do. But when they look in the paper and see a sign say the village vanguard, Max says, come on in. We're still swinging here because we may have Miles Davis this week and we may have Billy Evans next week. And after that, we may have Dizzy Gillespie, and we may have Dexter Gordon, and anybody you can name. They all play right here. Slim and Slam was here too, with Max at the Village Vanguard, because this is the place that's still going. And I understand Charlie Mingus played here. And this week you have Mingus Dynasty coming in. Most of the guys in the band played with Mingus. And it should sound familiar to you, Max. The Village Vanguard. The most jazz is found here, and was found here with Max Gordon and Lorraine. They kept the place going. And the higher the rent go up, the less they could care. It was all paid. It was right here at the Village Vanguard, special for you.